Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. Today we've got the Gamesir Cyclone 2, a multi-platform wireless controller, which, to be honest, instantly became one of my favorite peripherals to game on. But obviously more on that in the video review later on. So we're going to start with the unboxing of the controller itself, and there are already some really neat and cool features in the box itself. So it does come with a charging stand. It also comes with a receiver, but fear not, it also works via Bluetooth, so you can use both. Either a receiver, where you can actually use a cable, a receiver, and Bluetooth. You've got some cool fancy GameSir stickers. You've got a small leaflet about joining the GameSir Discord community, and obviously a Type A to Type C charging cable. So we're going to start with the actual charging stand itself, because I think it not only looks really cool, but it does a pretty decent job. You've got a Type C charging port on the back, and you've got a Type A at the front. You can connect anything you'd like to, but I like to use the receiver so I don't lose it, because I keep connecting it to my tablet, I keep connecting it to my ROG Ally X, so if I do move it around, I don't want to lose it. And then there is this fancy lighting charging animation as well when you do actually charge the controller using the charging stand. It looks nicely, and obviously the controller itself, you've got a Type C port at the front, as you can see, so you can charge it directly without using the stand if you don't have a stand close to you. So this is the controller itself, very lightweight, which I will show you in a second. But yeah, a very nice feeling device. Feels very premium, I have to admit, but it is very lightweight. So pretty cool D-pad. Actually, let's listen to how it sounds, how the button presses sound. Very satisfying, wasn't it? And now I've brought my kitchen scale, so I'm going to show you the weight. So this is DualSense 5, 281 grams when resting. Then this is the Xbox controller, Xbox One controller, which I swapped with my Series X because the Series X is just too loud. I just cannot stand the A, B, Y, X buttons on the Series X, so I'm using the OG one. So this is with the IKEA batteries in it, which is 284 grams. So quite close to DualSense 5. And let's just close that a bit. And the controller on its own without the batteries is 233 grams. And now we're going to bring the Gamesir Cyclone 2, which has a built-in battery, and it's only 231 grams. So it's actually lighter. It's lighter with the built-in rechargeable battery than the Xbox One controller without the batteries. So you can adjust the triggers as well. So how deep you want to push the triggers. As you can see in here, obviously full-blown analog triggers as well, so they aren't digital, they are full-blown analog triggers, so depending on how you press them, which is very useful in racing games, this is how fast you're gonna either accelerate or brake. I like to use it like that in shooter games, so I don't have to press the whole trigger down, and I start shooting earlier on in Cyberpunk 2077 or Fallout 76. But yeah, you can adjust it to your liking, obviously. There are actually quite a few customizable options on the controller itself. We've got two macro buttons on the back that you can use to macro any button that you like. So on the left I've got the right stick, and on the right I've got the B button, which I use quite often in Fallout 76. As you can see, the controller lights up as well, but you can switch it off if you don't like it, and it actually glows in different colors, shapes, and so on. So like I said, it's very highly customizable. So the cool thing about it as well is that you can adjust quite a lot of things without any additional software. So you press the macro button, and for example, if you press up and down on the D-pad, it then adjusts the vibration intensity of the actual controller itself, which in my opinion is actually pretty cool. Then you can use that button as well to fire up hair triggers. So for example, this is just a standard press of a trigger, as you can see, but when we press and hold both triggers and the macro button, you can actually do hair triggers. As you can see by the flashing light, the sensitivity is slightly different. So like I said, highly customizable, but the cool thing is you don't have to necessarily have the software installed. However, saying that, I would highly recommend downloading GameSir Connect, which is available on Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and Microsoft Windows Store. So this is my ROG Ally X, as you can see, and I've got a GameSir Cyclone 2 connected via wireless receiver. So yeah, you've got separate profiles which you can actually change on the controller itself. So if, for example, you've got a different polling rate on a profile 1, you've got 250 megahertz and you want to change it to 1000, you can do that as well on the controller itself. You don't have to go into the software. As I've shown you before, you've got different lighting levels and you can adjust them as well to your liking if you'd like to. You can always test the controller as well. You can adjust the dead zones, you can adjust anti-dead zones on the sticks and the triggers themselves as well. It's very, very, very good, robust software. You can obviously adjust the keys as well. So like I said, I've got my macro buttons set, but yeah, anti-dead zone is a big thing for me, especially since having the ROG Ally, so I've got the right stick's sensitivity on the anti-dead zone adjusted to minus 30%, 30%, just to have a bit more accuracy for myself. I just got used to it on the ROG Ally. But as you can see, there is vast majority of different settings that you can actually change using the controller itself. As you can see, I've got two different colors right now on the controller itself. Yeah, like I said, it's very, 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 very highly customizable controller, as you can see for yourself. So let's change that. I'm going to change that into desktop mode. Obviously, the software itself, you can use either a mouse or you can use a controller itself if you want to navigate it, which again is quite decent. It's not something that, you know, you can always use a controller to configure it. And like I said, you can change. So this is showing you which preset have you got set up. So you've got, sorry, profile, not preset. It's the same thing basically. So yeah, if you hold that button and then swap it, it changes between profiles. So for example, if you're playing a racing game and you want to swap the report rate to a different one, on a different profile, you can do so as well. And then obviously it's time for gaming. So I've got my trusty Cyberpunk 2077 running on my also trusty ROG Ally X. Very smooth gameplay, but obviously most importantly, you want to see how precise the controller is, and I have to admit the aim is really, really good. It is actually replacing, and it will replace, my favorite controller, which is the PlayStation DualSense Edge that I've also got. But the cool thing about the controller itself is, apart from, like I said, connecting via Bluetooth or via receiver or via cable, you can actually mimic it to be used as, for example, DualShock 4, or you can mimic it to be used as a Xbox controller and so on. There's quite a few different options for the controller itself. It connects slightly differently to an iOS device than it is to the Android device. You press the GameSir home button and then you press, for example, A button to connect to Android. You can also connect it to Nintendo Switch. It also works with Nintendo Switch as well. So Considering the price of the device and how robust and how customizable it is, I would highly recommend the controller itself. It's really good, very precise. I know I've said that probably 10 times already, but highly customizable to your liking. It's a very good controller out of the box, but it is very highly customizable on its own. And then you've got the software as well, and I cannot recommend it enough. A very, very, very good device. So yeah, thanks for watching another episode of Quick Expert Reviews, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Bye!